name is Lidiya Solomon, and I am a visual artist. I go on my second year on the University of Oslo Academy. I'm here at Southnord because I'm having my first solo exhibition. And I take so much inspiration in my surroundings, friends, my own culture, how I grew up, and my diaspora experience kind of inspires me a lot, and that's where I get my inspiration, and I get influenced a lot by my environment. Actually, I think materials that I use also inspire me, like the found materials, the way you go and scavenger hunt, for used material. I use a lot of used materials in my work because not because of the environmental aspect of it, but as in this necessity of my work and the economical side of my work. It's very expensive to be an artist in Scandinavia, and I think that kind of takes away a burden on my shoulder to go and find free used materials that you can actually repurpose and make something out of them. I think I have to start from the question itself, reimagine the world. That was a big question that was asked in the open call, and the whole time I was trying to answer that question, reimagine the world. And that was it felt so heavy, and I was not capable of creating anything because I didn't grow up like that. I grew up very one day at a time person because of my life situation. So I had to dig deeper and kind of go to the investigation of the work, what does that actually mean to reimagine and take it to a level that I could understand the question in a way. So I had to go back to the people that I know and the culture I come from, and myself as a person that was placed in two different continents. Our existence in a diaspora context is a very politically loaded, because we crossed the ocean not because we want this kind of existence, but it was, for most of us, it was necessity to move, to migrate to somewhere else for our body's safety. And I just wanted to go and see my surrounding, and because most of us have this diasporic backgrounds, and I took inspiration of those people that were around me, because they are reimaginative. They are reimagining because they're building life in a place where they have no assurance they're going to be there for the future. They're building something fundamentally not knowing their future, and I think that is a bold, imaginative aspect of it. My favorite piece in this exhibition is Mumu Shadow Boxer. I think it shows a lot about my process of depicting others, because I feel like I depict myself through them also. It was a very interesting piece I created after having a conversation with my friend. I visited him in his studio, so everything that is in the painting is what was in his studio, and I just loved the way he was moving in his body at his studio. It was this awkward moment between us. He was very open of sharing himself with me and showing his space, his working process, and this is me before I understood what's called studio meant. And I felt this was where everything started, like connecting with my subject, like the people that I paint. I try not to see myself through the white lens. Like, I feel like I try to be as consistent to my work as possible. I try not to label so much because it becomes at some point very limiting. And if I think about every aspect of my existence in a way, makes me like more discouraged. And I feel like I minimize stuff for myself so I can also exist like without this pressure. I feel like my life is so layered. It's nothing like boxed in a way, like. But I am not also naive not to think like the expectation of the diaspora community is not there, because it is there, and always the nagging feeling of me being like, as diasporan, I have to be useful to the society that I have migrated to, like as Norway is my home now, that I feel like this constant pressure of like I have to be useful for this country and I have to work harder than others. That in itself is like a very like heavy burden that I put on the side so I can also live a little. Thank you for choosing me and see something in my work and for giving me this opportunity. Like, I'm so grateful, and I'm still unsure that I'm here. Like, I'm really like, am I here? It haven't sink in yet. But I am so appreciative that there is a platform that exists for Afro-Nordic artists.